What is up, my fellow heavy metalheads? That's right, it's Hardcore Jungle Jimmy, joined as always by... No. Folks, here's the deal. We announced on our Halloween special, any of you can pay us $100 to choose what we review here on the couch. And some guy had something very unique for us. It's not a snack test, it's not a movie review. It is his friend's metal EP album of 3 songs. I have not listened to it yet, but I expect some very gothic, heavy metal. I don't know if it's screamo or black metal, death metal. Hey, do you have any experience in this field?
I've listened to some of it. I don't really know what makes metal different from other metal, but I know sometimes it's some weak stuff and they're not shredding hard enough, baby. Rock and roll!
I love it when there's like a double drum bass, like, and like you can just feel it in your guts, like in your heart. I can feel my heartbeat with the music. Listen, so that's what I'm hoping for.
I can't understand it because they're like, but listen, if it feels like I'm about to die, then that means it's good metal music to me. That hardcore stuff, I think that's what this is, but...
Hypothetically, metal music does have lyrics. It's not just a guy grunting and making sounds. Will we decipher any words? I highly doubt it, but it's yet to be seen. He did send us the album artworks of this band. It's called Intent. I thought we would take a look at these. This one has some mysterious hat men with the suits and, you know... a strange ghost old man crawling out of a TV. It really screams Rusty Cage style to me. I think that's where he got most of his aesthetic from, is this genre.
I will say, the title of the band here and the font, I enjoy that it's more legible than some metal fonts I see, because I do follow Justin Wang and he posts metal bands and it's just incomprehensible scribbles for their logo, so I can see what's going on. The Star Wars title card font for the title, I like that. I think it meshes well. We got like sort of a dystopian clash of like a future, maybe like a Cold War gone wrong, mixed with like a Rat Pack kind of thing going on. The guy in the screens, it kind of reminded me of, what's his name, Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, how he's like, he's like a brain man inside of the jar. And it looks like an older style, 1960s style television there as well. The man is crawling out of, you see some wires and things going on, so yeah, it looks fucking metal!
Well, let's see how it compares to number 2, an album called Vox Populi. Now, Aggie, I've looked at all 3 of these already. This one was my favorite. I am partial to spooky skeletons, because we all have one deep down inside, and one day that's all we will be is bones. So I love skeletons and skulls, and this is pretty gnarly looking.
What is that? There's some kind of machinery down there. What is that? Is that like a typewriter? That's he was writing his lyrics to the most metal shit ever!
That might even be like a sewing machine. I don't know. What the fuck is that?
Well, it reminds me of Fallout New Vegas, combined with like the Wild West, and once again we got like a little bit of a dystopian thing going on because we have an armed soldier to the reverse of this skeleton in clothing, or in tattered scraps of clothing really. And so that makes me say, okay, we still got modern military being involved here because the world's gone mad!
Oh my god, it's the stuff of nightmares. What if you had a bunch of weird muscular hands gripping and ripping at your face, Aggie, and your poor fanged tooth popping, jutting out in opposite directions? Oh, what a nightmare, Aggie.
Well, as a certified gamer, this reminds me of like Zul Garub, where they had some of these like the Adalai troll ruins. This kind of has like a bit of a troll shaman kind of appearance in the head. We also got, it looks like it could be like a Crown of the Damned kind of thing going on. I can see some skulls and some different fixtures maybe from a culture in there, but I'm feeling a troll shaman, maybe some little bit of ogreish mixture in there, and then a whole lot of prying. We've got bony skeleton hands, so maybe this could be like maybe there's people that were gripping on this man. Maybe he's in some kind of stasis. They gripped and died, but yet there's still more new, fresh hands that are coming to tear at what he is.
Is this the most relatable for you? Because you're kind of an ogre man who has people coming in from all directions to kind of rip you apart.
Well, I'm going to say absolutely, because, sometimes I do feel like I'm a screaming head in a screen, but I feel like I'm being clawed at by a million different entities, and they're called the 5G Satellite Man. Shout out to my homeboy, his name is Tony.
So if we were gonna rank these, what would you do? I'm
Well,
going Skeleton number 1, but what's your number 1?
I really like Sins of the Past for a lot of reasons, but it almost might be a little too much going on there for me. So for that reason, I think I'm going to go with Exile as my number 1, followed by Vox Populi and Sins of the Past. Very close third, very close, but just I like the simplicity, even though maybe not simple at a first glance, but I feel like these are a little more simple for the first two comparatively.
Yeah, I'm gonna go very similar to you with Skeleton number 1, and then this one, it is just like a nightmare portrait right there. Like if I woke up and had that up on my wall, I would want to go back to sleep immediately. And then this one's cool, but I'm not as spooked out by men in fedoras. It's a different time back when fedora men were scary. Now we just kind of pity them. But with that being said, Eggy, should we move on and listen to this EP?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's
And
go.
he gave us permission to play it. I don't know if we're going to get copyright hit or not, but I mean, the video was paid for, so what the fuck do we care? So we're just going to play it, and you can see a bit of our reaction. And we're not going to fake it, okay? If this deserves some heavy metal thrashing and headbanging, we're going to give it to him. But if it's lame as fuck, I might fall asleep, you know?
If it's Turkish Quandale Dingle type beat and it's like burr, 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 I might not be feeling it, but let's go.
Time to drop out.
Folks, this is number 12. Looks Like You. We're going in.
If I didn't want the transformation, I wouldn't have to have it, would I?
Was that from Wizard of Oz? Was that Dorothy? It sounded like it.
Okay, alright, yeah, okay.
Now we're going. That's more like... We haven't heard any lyrics. Are we gonna understand the lyrics? Is he gonna be screaming at me? It's not that bad of screamo. It's kind of decipherable. Oh, he's standing up, folks. He's standing up. Woo! I do like the shredding. Aggie, what did we think of their first song there? And really, I think the number one question for each song is going to be, could you decipher any lyrics, Aggie?
Of course, just like you.
Yeah, okay.
Just like
So
you.
the title and the chorus, that were the same thing, but what about any other part?
Well, it was a little difficult for me to hear exactly what was being said, but I will say this. I like that the vocal tone was not too guttural.
Yeah.
I feel like it had a very good balance. It was heavy, it was hitting, but it wasn't too much. I feel like sometimes I hear these ones where the drum patterns are just going too much. It's like they're trying too hard to be heavy. This, it had a good tone on the vocals, even though I couldn't really understand it very much. The shredding had a good tempo, a good sound, and I liked how they were able to kind of slow down on some of the breaks in the bridges and in the outro. So it wasn't like some of this metal I've heard it just has to, it can never let up because then it's like like I feel like there's an insecurity there. This it had, it would be like dun, 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 where it was kind of stretching some of those
ebbs
notes.
and flows, and it's not afraid to slow down and be a little quiet at times. I mean, you guys saw it. Eggy was headbanging and going nuts for the music. I wasn't feeling it. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the song, but it was not matching the tempo of my heart. And I don't really know if all of the different instruments and the vocalization really meshed and came together in a way that was fully satisfying to me. Again, I'm not an expert in this field. I feel like I like to have at least a certain melody that comes through even when it is really hardcore metal, and I didn't really necessarily get that. I loved the shredding, some really great guitar, not necessarily solos, but just guitar shredding and going nuts. I liked when the double drums kicked in, but there wasn't enough of that, so I'm hoping that I'll be a bigger fan of songs 2 or 3. Shall we move on, Eggy?
I want to make one last point also. I feel like the melody that I was going to I feel like that the tone of that melody does match the artwork, which is the Sins of the Past artwork here. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that kind of fantasy, technological sci-fi in those particular notes like that. There's notes like,
which maybe that's why it's not really fitting for me, because it's matching the artwork that we liked the least. So maybe if the next song matches like the skeleton one, maybe I'll be down to clown.
That's a fair point. Also, I do want to say, which I believe you kind of said this yourself, I probably listen to about 5 metal songs a year, so I have about the most vanilla taste. I just like what I listen. If I listen to it and I'm feeling it, then I'm gonna feel it. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're getting some sort of dancing and thrashing out of it, because I wasn't feeling that one. But let's give song number 2 a chance.
All right, that is gonna be Inside. Okay.
My life. I like this. What they would call the bridge.
It could be. When it comes to vocals again after this, I would consider this to be like a, probably, yeah, I think so.
A little repetitive.
want you to feel it.
I was definitely feeling that one a lot more than the first one. I was getting into the jam of that one. A little repetitive with some things at the beginning and some things towards the end, but yeah, it could have been a solid 40-second shorter song maybe. But it's still solid as it is. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think this one personally for me, for my taste, it's going to be a little bit lower than the first song because I think this one had higher highs and lower lows to me. Yeah, the start, it's got a good kind of simple build up. You know, it kind of doesn't do anything too crazy. The vocals come in, they're a little more, I feel, guttural.
I recognize like 2 whole words, so it's a big improvement.
I think the tone, in my opinion, just back to back blind without going back and looking again, I feel like the tone of the vocals was a little more guttural. And once we got past the first section of vocals, I think the instrumentation was heavier on this track. It had heavier breakdowns, I think. The melody, it was good. I think probably I'd score it similarly to the first track. It was a good song, but for my personal taste, I think I'd take the first one. But I think this one would probably rank being a little more metal than the first track, because it was, in my opinion, it was a little bit heavier. And a couple of those, as you were saying, towards the second half, like there's one of the bridge and the breakdown, good energy brought forth there. Some heavy metal energy, so I'm feeling it.
And I don't have a big frame of reference like we've been saying, but this reminded me a lot more of the things I actually do listen to. Kind of reminded me of a little bit of like Avantasia maybe, where I do like, like we said in the first song, it's not all heavy and crazy the whole time. They're not afraid to experiment and slow down and just have you hear some weird sounds for 20 seconds, which I appreciate. Okay, this last song is called Network Failure.
Okay.
Might be the story of our lives. Let's hear it.
I like that, okay. More texture, more melody in the start here. This is what that last track was missing to me.
It almost sounds like, is that the bass? It almost sounds like a human being singing. It sounds like a man, but it's the bass guitar.
Yeah.
That's
no vocoding, folks. That's real twang right there.
Yeah. That's interesting. It sounds like it's talking.
That's the network. It's failing to communicate.
Oh my gosh.
It's coming through the screen. Ah! All right. Okay, here we go.
I like it when a band respects the bass player.
Sounds
I'm thinking it rocks, YouTube.
I think that was my favorite song, to be honest, out of them.
It had that interesting opening. Lots of attention to the bass player. Weird. What'd you call it? What do they do? What's the effect that they're doing to the bass that makes it sound like a human being is whispering in my ear?
So I think it was vocoder. Because sometimes where you're talking, it'll match a frequency of an instrument. But I think it was just good old-fashioned twang. And if the boom mic didn't pick it up, I said, comparatively to the second track, that texture that you're getting from that twang on that bass, I think that's what that second track was missing to really hook you in that first portion. And this one too, it didn't get so heavy right away as it did on the first, or I mean on the second track. Maybe not even as on the first, but it built up, and the gradual build up there to a heavier, maybe not the heaviest, but a heavier sound compared to at the start. I think that was paced just perfectly. Once again, it had good transitions on the bridges, good tempo on the breaks. It was paced well there. Damn, it just rocked. That was like, it didn't, that third one just didn't miss any part for me. Like, there was really nothing that I could say about it negatively, because even though maybe it wasn't as heavy as good, but that was a conscious choice. And I think it was the right choice, because the song builds up, and I love any song, the other ones that are ending sort of on a chord. I like my metal song, a song that's high energy, song that has some heaviness to it. I like it to end on a I have songs that are heavy that they end on run over pedestrians.
So it inspired your own work in a way.
Like, it's just, there's something primal about it that's like you're just going all in, and I like to go all in with my energy on the music. Maybe you could tell I'm melting a little bit here.
You're like, yeah, your hair's getting covered in cum now at this point. Oh my god.
I'm stuck.
What? Why did that happen? Memory card is full. Well, hopefully it got most of that. It just turned off, so surely the memory card just got full. I'll keep that one going. Sorry, the camera died for a second there, but we put in a new memory card. What were you saying, Aggie?
So as I said,
as we're getting this dripping cum off of you,
this milky rock cum blasting out of those sweet, sweet metal chords. You know what? I mean, the hairs in my mouth, might as well put something else in there too, you know?
Your music was so powerful, you changed this man. This is what his natural state should be. Does Iggy not look perfect as a goth bad boy, metalhead? Dressed him up like somebody who I think killed somebody from some band. I don't know the story.
It is what it is, Euronymous Tube.
Did Intent convert you? Are you going to listen to hardcore death metal on your drive home tonight, Iggy?
Well, I don't know if they have any other albums, but you know what?
They probably do.
They have a good sound here.
At least.
They have a good sound that I would absolutely continue to rock out to. They're hitting the spot for me on the rock and roll scale. And I would like to hear more of their catalog to see if there's more of it, that maybe there might be something out there that's even extra appealing to me compared to what we heard today.
Well, if you want to check out this EP, I'll have a link in the description. It's on some YouTube channel. They just uploads a different metal EP every single hour. So I guess people just submit it because they want free exposure or something. I don't know, but it's up on some channel. Shout out to the guy who donated for this episode, None Ya Bees, who made this possible. Not our first ever customer, because somebody did pay us for the Ryan's toy review, movie review, and maybe something else. But if you would like to pay us for some sort of snack test or movie review, or even metal, evidently, anything you want, shoot us an email, simianjimmybusiness@gmail.com. Give us your pitch. If we like it, it'll be $50 to both of us. We'll make it come true. Any final thoughts here on our epic heavy metal episode, Aggie?
Well, thank you for your support, Mr. NunyaBees420, as I know him from the chat of my streams, rumble.com/c/Aggie White.
Should I film Aggie go around in public dressed like this now? Should that be part 2 of the video?
Wow!